your stuff, you mailed it, you paid to ship it, but when the shipping company loses your stuff, they get to sell it?
In his continuing investigation, Matt Gephardt looks at a business practice that many shipping companies are trying to keep under the radar. Matt?
Yeah, Sean and Mark, last night on Tune News at 10, I took you to Atlanta, Georgia, and showed you the massive facility where everything that the Postal Service loses in transit ends up. The job of the people who work at that facility to try and get that stuff back to its rightful owner. Tonight, the investigation continues, looking at some of the Postal Service's competitors, UPS and FedEx. And I'll tell you this, to investigate this one, we didn't have to go very far at all. When these guys lose stuff, it ends up right here in Utah.
Well, what are you reporting on?
I took you to Atlanta, Georgia to show you how everything that you send that the post office loses ends up here, the Mail Recovery Center. How much goes in? How much is reunited with the rightful owner? How much do they make selling off what they don't return? All questions the Postal Service refused to answer when I asked, but according to this Inspector General report, less than 3% of what goes in ever makes it home, and the Postal Service makes millions of dollars a year auctioning it off. It turns out that auctioning off stuff that they lose is actually an industry standard. UPS does it, so too does FedEx. Also apparently industry standard, secrecy. We asked both FedEx and UPS how much stuff they lose and how much they profit by auctioning it off. They refused to tell us. According to online message boards, much of UPS's lost stuff is sold right here in Utah. Specifically at the NPS store in West Valley City. NPS has a retail store and also hosts online auctions. A UPS spokesperson refused to confirm ties to NPS, but stated it sounded like we were, quote, doing a fine job investigating. So we went to NPS to see for ourselves. My producer and I observed hundreds of boxes where it certainly appears as though a shipping label has been carved out, as well as a few that were apparently missed. Sure enough, UPS shipping labels. Utah is a major hub for lost FedEx boxes as well. Through state records, we confirm that FedEx owns a Utah company called Northwest Research. Inside the same building, an online auction website, Bukus.com. Bukus' registered address is FedEx's corporate headquarters in Tennessee. We tracked down a former FedEx employee who tells me that Northwest Research is in charge of reuniting people with their stuff, which they're able to do about 20 to 40% of the time. What they cannot is auctioned off at one of 3 locations, California, Canada, and, yep, right here in Utah.
So why is so much stuff getting lost in transit anyway? Well, we spoke to a shipping expert who told us it all has to do with conveyor belts. Those conveyor belts have a nasty habit of taking the address labels that we stick on packages and ripping them off, leaving the people shipping them without any idea where to actually send them, including not even having a return address. So best advice, if you can, do something to make your package identifiable so if it ends up at one of these facilities, they're able to get it back to you. Or better yet, write down all your information and actually stick it inside the box so when they open it up, they know where it goes. Back to you.
Good advice.